All right. That officially proves that everybody knows they're being recorded. So no backsies. No takesies backsies, everybody. Um,
Um,
since we are playing a game, is why I thought I'd start with no takesies backsies.
Hmm.
Welcome everybody who is out there listening to this very special episode of the Broken Brain, trying something new that we have not done before on the show, which is the use of RPGs, which is role playing games. Something that I've been doing in my therapy practice for social. Every weekly, I do a social skills group where we use a lot of RPGs and an ongoing D&D campaign, and just kind of engaging with more of that. Just as an aside, everybody who's listening, if you want to go to my website, dwighthurst.com/RPG, I've tried to make a little page there where you can download a lot of free, um, either short or simple kind of RPG kind of things if you want to, that are around the web that seem useful. And I've uploaded a couple of the ones that I have written as well. You can find a bunch of Santas, our Christmas themed RPG that I put together with that group that I was in, and also Leprechaun or Leprechant, the St. Patrick's Day, that one that I uploaded with apologies to anyone who's Irish. As an American, making an RPG focused on leprechauns for St. Patrick's Day. So, anyway, but I do what we can here in America to not be offensive. Um, not always very well, I guess. So I
Yeah, I
hope.
guess we don't always do. Yeah, at all.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't always do very well. That's a shocker. Most of the world out there, international listeners are surprised to hear that about Americans. But hey, that's what you tune in for, is these little factoids. So I'm going to try to share some more of these episodes going into it. And not coincidentally, this game that we're going to play today is another sort of one-shot RPG that I have created. It partially uses what's called the Risus system, which is another one that's free or cheap to find different places. It's a little bit adapted from that. And for those of you who are in the Patreon, there's going to be a little bit of a making of that. We'll talk about how this was made. But this game, which is called HE Double, is going to be available on the site as well. From partially from the feedback we get from this experience of playing it and seeing how it goes, I'll get it written up and share that hopefully soon around when this episode is released. You can find that as well. And if not, just check the website every day. Click on every page. It helps with SEO. So really, thanks for that, guys. All right. Well, I am super grateful to be joined by some friends of mine that I have met out there in podcast land, and even one IRL friend that I've met. We knew each other a long time ago.
Oh, we go way back.
So I'm going to introduce everybody a little bit. First, I've got the voice you just heard was Jamie Downs, who is here for shits and giggles, according to your intro.
Yes, and I also am a dungeon master for a 3.5 D&D campaign.
Yes,
So it's
that's what.
be interesting to be on the other side of the dice for the day.
A DM extraordinaire here to, you can give me a grade at the end of how you feel like it went. So, and we've known each other since childhood. Wow, that's a long time. For some of us, it's a longer time than others. Childhood.
Oh God, and that's the truth.
Also joined by the wonderful Leslie Mansell, lifelong unapologetic geek and weirdo. Can be found on Twitter, Insta, and TikTok as at geekily_me. Thanks for being here, Leslie.
I am so glad to be here.
I'm familiar with some of your work on through the Paprika podcast you've been on, talking a lot of things with Daryl, who's been on the show too. Your husband, Daryl.
Yes. I was part of the Choose Our Own Adventure podcast, and yeah, did some of the drafts that were a lot of fun. Won the first Star Wars draft. I'm very proud of myself.
That's right. I also have a piece of your art hanging on my wall in my office as well from your Etsy shop. So, and then we are also joined by London Smith, or drlondonsmith.com. Ding. If you know, you know. That's the sound that you make on your show. From the Jock Doc podcast on social media, you are at Dr. London Smith and also at Jock Doc podcast. And you're the creator of that show, as well as probably other things that you've accomplished in your life.
Agreed. Yeah. No, I've high school. I did high school. later on, I would go on to do med school as well, but really it's the high school diploma that's carrying me at this point, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, of your accomplishments, the MD's got to be somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
yeah.
never
I've got a
done one
few
of those.
degrees,
Most
but
people
I'd
haven't.
say
So
high school is really it's what carries me now. Those skills you learn.
you hope. I'm glad that you've got at least got that to fall back on.
Mhm.
Well, we are going to dive on in a moment. Everyone will be able to meet the characters that these individuals are wonderfully able to play in this game. Let me give a quick update for anyone listening. The way that this game is going to work is this is what we call a simple one-shot game that is organized around a simple rules. Everybody's going to use 6-sided dice to determine success in actions. If there's any actions we determine that are uncertain in their outcome, the GM or game manager, which is me, will determine that that needs to be rolled. So you can use a different number of dice to get a higher number. And when you roll for an action, the higher number will win. I will be rolling against the players to see if they are successful in their actions. Each of the players has picked 3 personality attributes, which will gain special powers. And by special powers, we just mean they can roll more dice. So everyone in this game picks 3 attributes before the game. For me, it was interesting to hear what they were before, so I could kind of throw some things that might be a little bit tailored to your personalities. So everyone listening, you'll understand what those are in a minute when they introduce themselves. But essentially, one attribute will give you the ability to roll 4 dice when you do an action that is tied to skills that come from that attribute. The other 2 will give you the ability to roll 3. Some of the challenges and characters that you will encounter in the adventure will be rolling usually 2, 3, or 4 dice at least as well, which will make it more challenging for some than for others. So that is a good intro, I hope, for everyone to understand a little bit how that works. So it's based off, like I said, the RISIS system, and is even a little less complicated than that system as well, which is already not that complicated. Yeah, does that sound good? Does everybody understand that? Is it work okay? We'll get into it to play, but
Yeah, I figure we'll find out.
yeah, all right. That's what I figure as well. So all right. So we are going ahead in. Let me grab my adventure notes here. So it is late in the summer. Each of you individually is driving your car, riding your bike, however it is, riding a scooter, jogging, however it is that you choose to relay yourself to a typical suburban neighborhood. It is a typical late summer afternoon. It's a little unusually hot. Although I say that, I realize out there in the world right now, it's unusually hot everywhere it seems. But especially for so late in the summer, it's a little extra warm. It seems, especially as you get closer to your destination, it seems a little more warm. You pass a bunch of typical suburban houses on this typical street. People are typically mowing their lawns and putting out their typical trash cans, big, huge green or blue trash cans for recycling and garbage. You park your typical vehicle. You get out in a typical way. It crosses your mind that you don't usually use the word typical quite this often, but there's just something so almost oppressively, aggressively normal about this neighborhood, as if it was designed to put you at ease, so much so that the dullness of this neighborhood is honed to a fine point. You pull up at your destination, which is the house of your friend Max Demonlin, who has invited you to a late summer barbecue. As you pull up, you see 2 other typical people that have also arrived. You all see each other. This is the first time you've met. As you walk up, you kind of bump into each other, and you notice that each one of you is holding an identical invitation in your hands that says, "I sure hope that you make it to my barbecue. XOXOXO Max." And the word hope is large embossed gold letters standing up on the invitation. Since you all know that you're going to the same place, this is a chance for everybody to introduce yourselves to each other. So why don't we go ahead and let's just tell each other player your name and your 3 attributes. Do you want to go first, London?
Yeah, and sorry, am I doing a character name or am I doing my whichever name?
Character. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Farius. Hey, nice to meet you. I see you've all got these envelopes. One thing I'm wondering about these cards is how much it costs. Because to get the raised letters and everything, like, I don't know, like I couldn't afford this for my parties. But I really like to befriend pet rocks. And I'm a contortionist. I don't know if you saw me pulling up, but that was me just lumbering my way over with my legs weird. And I also am really good at staring at the sun. I'm a sun starer at her. So I hope these qualities will help me in today's going in. And hello.
Hi, I'm Silva. Um, I know, right? These envelopes are so, they're not the envelopes. The invitations are so fancy. Really
Hmm.
like them. But I'm a lumberjack. I got my nice little axe here. That's why I carry that around. I'm just so excited to be here. I also just, really love books. I'm a bibliophile, and I didn't drive because I'm a hiker. I love hiking. So I just walked my way here. It's so nice to meet you.
And I am Lily, and I am a librarian. I do some art on the side, so this looks like something from a nice Etsy shop, frankly, these envelopes. I also do a little bit of breakdancing on the side. And I moonwalked most of the way here.
As you get to know everyone, you realize that everyone is not quite so typical, that they're a great individual, and that everyone seems to have some diverse talents and abilities. Um, however, just as soon as you start to think that, boy, it feels almost wrong to think of something being special or individualized, or to try to get that kind of hope. As you're still coping with why that is, all of a sudden you look over and you see your host, Max Demonlin, coming out of his backyard, opening a typical vinyl fence gate and saying, "Hey, come on in." As you're walking up, each of you take just a moment to think to yourselves, how did you meet Max? You find that all of a sudden that question becomes very, very fuzzy. Does anyone have any thoughts about where you met Max? And keep in mind, you can't quite remember exactly.
Thought I've seen him at the library.
I thought I saw him out at the park when I was hiking.
Ugh, this guy. Uh, I gotta assume he saw me at the grocery stores. Like, I don't know. Um, but no, great. Like, it's once again, you always want to meet your fans and whatever. Sure, sure. We'll see what his thing is.
As you're starting to wonder about that, Max says, "Come on in," beckons you into the yard. Right before you step in the yard, you notice he has a sort of a box on a little table set off just right outside the fence. And he's like, "Oh, here, I'll take that." And he gathers your invitations from you, and and turns and says, "I'll just abandon those in here real quick." Drops them into the box as you walk by, and you are now in the yard. As you come in the yard, he walks by you, closes up the gate, and you notice that the white vinyl fence has this weird reddish hue. You notice up in the sky when it was a bright sunny day before, and now it seems like there's these kind of dark clouds over it. You can't really see the sunlight. You look around, and boy, the heat is increased, and you notice the grass is all prickly and burned, and there's a whole bunch of people here that are just milling around. And why don't, by the way, each of you roll 1d6 and just yell out what number you get.
5.
One.
Two.
Okay. So we are going to go with that. The reason we just rolled that, so everybody knows, is for the order when we take our turns. So it's going to be go Jamie, London, Leslie when you have a turn, what to do. So as you look around, all of a sudden you have this moment of clarity where you're like, something is very wrong. I don't think I'm in a good place. Your memory starts to clarify a little bit, and you remember that you don't really know Max that well. You saw him one time, and all of a sudden you just felt compelled to come to this barbecue. Once you had released the invitation, you feel like the loss of that invitation, in fact, even the loss of the hope that it indicated, and you wonder, can I ever even get out of this yard? Max looks at you and he says, "Hey, I can tell you're starting to realize, just like everybody does when you come in, hey, no hard feelings. I know you don't really deserve to be here, but I'm sort of an agent of eternal punishment that's trying to get a certain number of souls to be trapped forever to let me off the hook. You get it, right? Just the way it is. Like I say, it's nothing personal. But hey, while you're here, mill about, have some food, have a good time." You stagger around, struggling once again against this typical boredom feeling. You notice that there are, once again, people milling about. They all just seem to be barely moving, they're barely conscious. In fact, some are sitting over in some typical Adirondack chairs over in the corner of the yard. They seem almost comatose, just glazed over. Even Max's dog is just kind of sitting there, barely poking at a bowl of water that is, it looks like it's evaporating very quickly in the heat. You notice the table full of food and two grills that are out. In fact, even the food looks very bland. You've got some grocery store pre-frozen patties with barely any salt on them sitting on the grill. Uh, you've got hamburger buns that are the kind that kind of stick together when you try to pull them apart. It just rips them to shreds. There's some veggie dogs on the grill, and not good veggie dogs. These are the bad veggie dogs that I don't even think they make anymore, because the ones they make now are much more. These have probably been sitting on a shelf for a while. There's easy listening jazz coming out of a tinny speaker. You also notice a little shed. There is cooking gear and kind of kitchen-esque kind of stuff in there, but most of it hasn't even been used, even though it's there. What makes it even more annoying. So as you are looking around at this party, and you notice everyone getting more and more satiated, more and more bored. You feel, oh, there's this oppressive feeling of being there. Max encourages you again, eat some food. Come on, just eat some food and chill out. Just chill. All right, Lily, you go first. What do you want to do?
I don't know, guys. Like, I'll go to any party. That's why I'm here, even though didn't even know, didn't realize I didn't know Max that well. But who serves gruel at a frickin' barbecue? Um, I don't look around to see if there's anyone that's semi-conscious that I'm going to use my artist's eye to actually maybe my librarian screening eye to see if anyone, shows any sign of life besides us and see if I can talk to them. Can I do that?
Okay. Absolutely. And so everyone knows listening, the way that we use the attributes is if you can justify to the GM why this ability that you're going to try to use comes from one of your attributes, you get to use the dice assigned to that. Is this a 3 or a 4, your librarian skill?
4.
Okay. And just so everyone knows, if you do something and you can't think of a way to tie it to an attribute, you only get to roll 1 dice against that. So, okay, you were rolling, you said 4?
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Okay, you rolled a 10. And I rolled a 5 against you. So you succeeded on your roll. As you look around, what are you trying to? You're trying to intuit, kind of, if anybody is not just bored and comatose. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, like, is there anyone that looks putting pieces together fresher to the area, like than the others, like a little less zombie-esque?
Okay.
Or
Yes. Great. You notice one young man over in the corner who seems a little bouncy and agitated. That seems like he's kind of moving around. And in fact, he looks over and says, "Hey, don't you work at the library?"
I sure do.
Wow. It's so weird. I just read the Great Gatsby on the way over here. It was on the recommended list as one of the best.
Oh,
It
I'm
was
so
so
sorry. Not mine.
I know it was really depressing, and I was so agitated by it, and so angry at some of the characters that I can't. But now I can't recall even their names. A bunch of rich jerks, and boy, I hate rich jerks. And I was so mad, but I don't feel mad anymore. But I feel like I should. I want to feel mad, but I can't feel mad anymore. Oh gosh, I think it was I had that burger. I had that burger. Oh, it really weighs me down. And oh, here comes. It looks like the sky's gonna rain again. And you know what? Who cares? I mean, It doesn't
So I
matter.
just watch this guy zombify in front of me.
He's starting to mellow more and more as you see him. Yep. All right.
Awesome.
London, you're next. What you gonna do? I should say
Uh,
Ferris. Ferris, right?
yeah, Farius. Yeah,
Farius.
like a nefarious person, but without the ne. Um, let's see. Really, just all this talk about. I haven't had lunch yet, so I am gonna go ahead and have one of the whatever bland-looking foods. Let's go. Let's go for a hot dog, but without the veggie, because I hear bad things about the veggies.
Okay, so you grab a hot dog and you get a bun?
Yes, I'll get a
Okay.
bun. And is there are there condiments to be had?
No,
Okay,
there's nothing.
it's okay. It's okay. I just prefer them that way.
Okay.
It's good. It's honestly, this is fine.
You take a bite, and all of a sudden, and the first thought you have is, ew, this is not a very good hot dog. The very
Mhm.
next thing that happens is you're like, but who cares? You know, what is life
That does sound like
anyway?
my thought process. Yeah.
You're gonna roll to try to resist a deep, deep, boring, zombifying feeling that you're starting to have. Do you feel like any of
Okay.
your abilities would enhance the resistance of that?
Um, I'll admit now I should have looked around for Pet Rock or the Sun, but I did not do any of those before this. So I think
Ah,
I'm gonna be going in pretty powerless. Uh, so how many dice does that mean? One dice?
one dice
Die.
if there's nothing that, yeah, that
Okay,
you
yeah,
can think
yeah,
of there.
nothing to help me here.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 4.
And I'm rolling 2 for this effect, and that actually is a 10. So no way you could beat that one. Yes, you go down. And what you're noticing now is I'm going to pick one at random. Your pet rock befriending skill for for a while is going to be knocked down from. Is it a
Yeah.
3 or a 4?
Let's say 3.
That's a 3. Now it's going to be a 2 for a little while.
Okay.
Okay.
Boy howdy. Well, at least I
All
got to
right.
eat.
Sylvie.
Um, so as they entered, Silva noticed that um he used that weird phrase, he abandoned the invitations, and with her love of books, she noticed that, with the hope that seemed to be referencing Dante's Inferno, abandon hope, all ye who enter here. And so she looks around with that knowledge to see if there's anything else that sort of references that she could, notice or use.
Okay. Very good. This is your bibliophile skill?
Yes.
Okay. What is that, a 3 or 4? You can roll
3.
3. So go ahead and roll 3 dice.
11.
11. And I rolled an 8, so you succeed in this. One thing that you notice that stands out is that everything looks a little picked over, except the potato salad. The potato salad, by the way, has the most offensive ingredient in it the potato salad can have. And you get to pick, what is that? What should potato salad never have?
Raisins.
Raisins. Oh my gosh. Yes. It looks like we did drop. Oh, Jamie's back. There are raisins in the potato salad, and nobody has even touched it. There's a big spoon sitting next to it that is completely clean. And as you notice this big heaping bowl of gross potato salad with raisins, you can kind of detect that it seems in a weird way sort of lumpy, like there's something inside of it. All of a sudden you get images of Treasure Island and digging and Jim Hawkins digging for treasure.
Um, yeah, I want to take that spoon and just kind of mush into the middle and see if anything's there.
Okay, you stab into the middle, and sure enough, there's a solid thunk that you pull out. Luckily, there's also some bottled waters that are half empty, actually, and the tops are off most of them, and some solo cups full of water, but you can't tell whose is whose. There's a marker for writing people's names, but it's dead. It's like a dry erase marker. It's not working. And so you take a cup, douse this object, wash off the potato salad, and what you found is a golden H in the potato salad.
I'd like to kind of motion to the other two, be like, hey guys, what I found. I, I think we need to find Hope. Maybe.
All of a sudden, you hear the person next to you, the guy who read The Great Gatsby. He turns around and he's like, "Huh?" And another person turns around and says, "Huh?" Another person, and slowly they start to notice what you're holding. All of a sudden, you see Max across the yard turns around and he's like, "What? The H?" And then, as everybody starts to notice it, they start to turn around and say, "Hey, what's going on with these burgers? Come on, Max." Somebody goes in the shed and they pull out seasoning salt and they start putting it on. Somebody else changes the radio station. All of a sudden, someone's like, "The resistance is here." And they start sort of doing that weird jiggle dance. And everybody is starting to actually engage in the party. And Max is like, "No, no, hey, everybody, stop it, be bored again." As this is all happening, you notice that in the shed, there is a doorway in the floor that slowly opens up and a staircase going down.
Um, hey guys, what do you think that
I'm
is?
yeah, I'm curious about the stairway. I'm gonna go investigate and poke my head down there.
Yes, yes. As you get over there, you can see basically you can see down the staircase. There's kind of a hallway going somewhere. As as you do that, you do hear Max kind of right behind you saying like, talking into a weird little cell phone, saying like, "Turn the rains on." And all of a sudden there's a downpour of rain, and you start to notice that as the rain hits everybody, they start to dull back down and zombify. And of course you're in the shed, so you're not getting hit by this water at this point.
Well, guys, I think this party's beat. I'm gonna make an Irish exit. Um,
Nice.
Anybody come with me?
Yeah, no, I'll do it. I'll go. That was a while. I haven't finished this hot dog yet, but I'll bring it with me.
Is it that good?
No, I mean it's
You're
like
hungry.
I just like what are you gonna do? I'm kind of bored. So might as well eat, you know.
And
Fair
and
enough.
I'm assuming you guys are taking the golden H with you.
Oh yes, I have not
Okay.
let that out of my hands.
All right. So you get the H out of there with you and you go down the stairs. London, you feel the boredom alleviate and your dice are all back to where they were before.
Okay. But I still have the chance to take another bite if I need to.
That's true. If you decide
Yeah.
you want to impair yourself in that way, you come down into this hallway, and in this hallway, there is a hot wind blowing down the hallway. It's a little uncomfortable. In fact, it makes it hard to walk forward. As you walk down, you do see a sign on the wall that says, "Don't look back. Just don't look back. That's the main thing. Lean forward and don't look back." So as you walk down the hallway, you notice that at the end of the hallway there's some motion, but you can't really see. It's just a bright, fiery light that makes it hard to even tell how long the hallway is. As you're trying and pushing and walking down this hallway, you see a few items. There is a slight a broom closet that is slightly ajar. You can see brooms and dustpans and stuff in there. You see ahead of you some large object covered with a tarp. There's an alphanumeric keypad on the wall as well. And as you walk down the hall, the wind gets fiercer and fiercer, fiercer and fiercer the more that you go down. And I think that's all the objects you can see now. Yes. All right.
Oh, I want
Lily, what are you going to
to.
do?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we got to go and turn.
Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice try.
Yeah,
Furious, nefarious. All right. Lily, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna be contrary because I don't like this hot wind in my face. And I'm gonna spin around and moonwalk down the hallway.
All right. When you spin around,
What do I see?
when you so now let me just make this just to clarify. Are you now, which way are you facing?
I'm facing back the way we came.
Okay, so you did
I'm
turn
looking
around.
back. I am
You're
looking back.
Immediately you feel a strange sort of change. You feel a little bit just a little bit off. And as your other two companions look over and notice that you have shifted and changed. You look pretty much the same, except you are now made of salt. The breakdancing skill that you are now using. How many dice is that for the breakdancing skill, by the way?
3 dice.
Three
I guess
dice.
maybe what I want to do is try to spin around before it's too late.
Now you are sentient. You are still sentient and conscious, but your breakdancing skill is now reduced 1 dice, so you can only roll 2, but you can still roll to see how far you get down the hall.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little flipperoo and not face that way anymore.
All right, you can roll though to see how far you got down the hall.
Um oh, well, I rolled a 7. Is that, or do you want me to
Oh, you
say
beat
how far I
me.
got? Okay.
Yeah, you beat
Hooray.
me. So you get about halfway down the hall. You still can't quite make out what's at the end, but it does seem you can see sort of a general kind of a motion that's happening in the middle of the bright light. All right. So, Farius, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, I will say,
Finally.
Lily, though, you are noticing as you get down the hall, little bits of salt are blowing off, and you are concerned that if you lose too much salt, that might be bad.
Maybe not the best way to lose some weight.
Mm,
You never know.
yeah,
You
it's a
never
new
know.
trend.
They'll let the research bear out in the long run.
So I look into given my sun stare at her skills, I do look into the flaming whatever it is
Okay.
to try to discern what's happening.
All right. Roll for that.
Okay, I got so I do 4 dice for a thing.
Yes, if that's your
Right,
primary
yeah,
attribute,
yeah.
right? It has 4.
Yeah, 5, 6, 5, 2.
What's that? Oh, okay. So you beat. Yeah, I only got 9. So you are able to see what is at the end of the hall is a giant fan, and that behind the giant fan there is a bright, sort of burning fire. But under that there is an exit door, or a door at least, and there is a big switch, an on-off switch behind the fan. But it's behind the fan, and the fan takes up. It'd be very hard to get around the fan.
Okay.
All right, Sylvie, what are you gonna do?
I've, as a hiker, I've dealt with fierce winds before.
Nice.
So, I'm going to turn sideways to kind of lower my profile and crouch a bit so that I have a lower center of gravity.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to just edge my way up the hallway.
Okay. Roll for hiking.
14.
14, you have succeeded against a 9, and you are able to get a little bit past the point. You are now past Lily, Salt Lily, and you are kind of you're about even with where there's that. Once again, there's a keypad on the wall. You've passed that a little bit, and the broom closet is now a bit behind you. And then there's an item, of course, under the tarp that you're about even with. So you're about 2/3 of the way down the hall. Let's see now. Let's see. Everybody, go ahead. You're going to roll to resist. At least the 2 of you that are not salt, you're going to roll to resist the temptation to look behind you. You hear a voice saying, "Look behind you. Come on, come on, look behind you. Come on, come on. There might be interesting stuff back there. Don't you want to know? Come on, look. There's you're past some of your compatriots. Don't you want to know they're there? Okay, come on, turn around." So go ahead. Can you think of any way that your skills would help you to not want to turn around?
With the knowledge of all of the horror books that I've read, I know listening to that voice is a terrible idea.
All right, roll at your bibliophile. Ooh, gosh, I got a really bad roll. You guys are probably okay. And then, London, do you have any skills or attributes that would help you to not turn around?
I mean, honestly, I'm thinking like, could this be a pet rock for me to hang out with? So if anything, it's pushing me the other way.
Okay, so you're looking ahead for rocks.
Yeah, just
Okay.
anywhere to find a rock. Yeah, to be
Okay.
my friend.
Go ahead and roll your pet rock roll.
I rolled a 10.
Okay,
Oh,
so you were
pet rock would be-
successful. Sylvie was successful and did not look back.
Okay, and I got 2, 4, and 2. Oh, so 8 total.
See, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually, I got a really bad roll. I got like a 5. So with 3
Yes.
dice. So you see a little rock up there, and it looks almost. It's got this little pattern in the granite that looks like almost like eyes, and you can almost see one wink at you in the shadow. Makes it look like it's winking. So that distracts you enough that you don't turn around.
Yeah. Oh,
All
for sure.
Well, Salt Lily, what are you gonna do?
Am I past, well, first off, from last round, I didn't see anything except for the hallway. Basically, we came down like when I turned around, right?
Yeah,
Or
it
did I
just
see
looked like
something?
the same.
Okay.
It just looked like the same thing.
Um, I'm gonna, is the broom closet in front of or behind me?
Yeah, it's you could get there if you want to.
Okay. I want to go grab the broom that's in the broom closet.
Okay, you can do that. You don't have to roll for that. What are you gonna do with it?
Okay. I am going to, once we get close to the fan, stick it in there to see if I can stop the fan.
Ooh, great idea. Okay. And let's see. Do you want to roll to try to get close enough to the fan? As you've
Yeah.
done
What do
mostly
you want
kind
me
of
to
free
roll?
actions before. Well, it's up to you. Can you think of a way to help yourself walk better?
I always walk with flair.
All right.
Um,
Using the flair or strength, the strength that you gained from breakdancing. You could, I mean, you
yeah,
could do
which is still only
breakdancing
2
or
dice,
what?
right?
Yeah.
Because
All
I'm
of your dice are
salty.
limited 1 while you're salty.
I'm super
I should
salty.
say.
Um,
All right. So yeah, go
11.
ahead. 11 and oof, we did get a tie. I've neglected to say at the beginning though that tie does go to players. So you are
Hooray!
able to get up to the fan and you stick the broomstick in the fan. You hear a whack boom pow. All of a sudden the mechanism is cracked. You, as the broom comes whacking around and hits you, you explode into a cloud of salt.
Hooray!
Yeah, but
But
I clap, I cheer.
but
Woo!
as the door opens up, you notice that the door behind the fan opens up, and you're able to safely move the fan. Everybody's able to safely move the fan off to the side. And now that the door is opened, a blast of fresh air blows in, and all your salt seems to come back together into a person,
I was
and
going
you
to
are
ask if I was
yourself
like a
again.
sentient puddle or pile or something like that.
No, so what it ends up looking like is like a boom of salt, and then you kind of appear in the middle as if you emerged, and it looks cool as hell.
I'm a badass.
All right. Well done. You have oh, and as you do so, I'm sorry. What what did I miss here? You also find right past the fan, you find that when it broke, there is one of the little rings, one of the little socket rings that was screwed on there seems a little brighter than the others. You happen to pick it up. It's a round piece, a round sort of seal that is made of gold actually, and it is an O as it turns out. So
Ho, ho, ho.
now, as you walk in, you walk through this door, and all of a sudden you're out in this very interesting looking garden. You take a deep breath, and the first thing you smell is the beautiful, wonderful smell of honeysuckle that quickly turns into a skunky, gross smell. So it's just enough that each time you breathe, your brain is like, wants to breathe it, and then it turns nasty, which is just kind of mean, you feel like. It is a fancy garden. Inside the garden, there's a like just garden furniture that's all kind of charred and burned and beat up. Everywhere you look, every plant is burning. There's fire on every plant. To the left, as you walk in, there is some shrubberies and a large bush that is on fire. Ahead of you, you see 5 trees. 4 of them are regular sized apple trees. The one and then the one in the middle is a big, thick, heavy tree that is just it's just kind of sitting there, which might sound like a weird qualifier, except for the fact that the other 4 trees are kind of moving around. They have a little bonfire in front of them. They're rooted to the ground, but they're moving their limbs and pulling apples off of themselves and roasting apples in this little fire. You also notice Max's dog from the party. Max, Demonland's dog, is sitting at a table with a mug that is also on fire. And he turns to you as you come in and goes, "This is fine." So, and That is what we can see. As you step in, you also notice there is another tree with a little cutout portion that is a little library with a little door, like those little mini libraries. As you come in, one of the trees turns and says, "Hey, who are these guys? All right, guys, let's give them the Wizard of Oz treatment." And they take these roasted apples and start chucking them at you. Okay, so everybody roll to dodge a flaming apple.
Hold on. As I'm leaving, can I pick up that pet rock that I befriended?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. Yes, that's important.
So everybody roll.
Gonna ask if I should have checked under the tarp, but I assume we've moved past that and it's fine.
That's
Okay.
fine. It was another thing, but we don't have to. Yeah,
Okay.
that's part of this. Is we have a flexibility kind of around it. So everybody roll to
Okay, so
dodge. What skill are you using, by the way? Just tell me what attribute and then
Contortionist.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that.
Got an 8.
Okay, and then so let's see. That is it. Well, let's everybody roll real quick. Sylvie, what are you using to? Sylvie and Lily, what are you using as your skill to dodge?
I'm pop, drop, and lock again.
Okay, nice.
So I got a 10.
Okay, and Sylvie, what did you get?
Um,
Or what are you using?
I don't. I feel like it doesn't really tie into anything I have.
Let's see, and anyone can feel free to help if you can think of a justification for lumberjack, bibliophile, or hiker skill, and your co-players can help if they have an idea.
Oh, you can try to chop the thing out of the air with your lumberjacking.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I could. Okay, yes, I will try to chop it out of the air. Let's. Well.
Okay. So everybody succeeded. I rolled an 8, which is a tie with Lena's roll, but tie goes to player. And so everybody succeeds. Jamie, I'm sorry, Lily, you do a fancy pop and lock, and it weaves almost slow motion right in front of your face as you do so, but doesn't hit you. And Sylvie does a slow motion axe chop that looks so cool and separates right down the middle of the flaming apple as it goes. And Farius, you didn't mention, so when you contort, how do you move?
Yeah, I just did the Matrix thing. I lean back really far and I doze for a second. I'm so good at it.
And as you do so, do you make like a ring or anything with your arms?
For this one, yes.
Yes. Okay. So it goes
I
right in
must.
between. So you're not only
Yeah.
dodging, you're doing it in a cocky show off way, which is pretty awesome. Okay. So now let's go through our turns. Lily, what are you going to do?
I'm sorry, Lily.
What's that? Yes, you're first.
Oh, okay.
This
Well,
is practice
I
for
gotta
witness
go check.
protection, by the way. So when you have a character name, you gotta,
Oh, right. No, totally.
hello,
totally.
Mr. Thompson.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to go check out the library. I assume there's a little bit of cover there as well.
There is, yes. So you open it up and you see 2 books inside the library. One is Goodnight Moon, and the other is Guide to Languages. And there's a bookmark in it that indicates a language called Ent, E-N-T.
Well, I've already, have heard Goodnight Moon many, 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 many times. So I'm gonna look a little bit closer at the language book, and see if I can decipher any vocab or grammatical structure from this language you're
Okay, roll for
pointing at.
librarian.
All right. Big money, no whammies. All right. Math. 14.
Okay, yes, that beats a 12. So, all right. You, as you do so, you notice the Ent language, and actually you find that it's very close to some other languages that you've learned in your librarian skill. You're able to pronounce out loud the first phrase that it does, that is there. And as you do so, the big tree in the middle shakes, and all of a sudden it opens up these big eyes, and it stands up, and he says, "I'm from Lord of the Rings, if anyone didn't know what that reference was." and he stands up, stretches his arms. You notice that as he stretches his arms, they stretch over. They overhang the other 4 trees. He's way bigger than the other trees. All right, so let's see. So you have woken up an ant. Farius, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna consult with my pet rock, see if he has any insight for the situation, because all the fire is pretty scary to me.
Okay.
Um,
I don't have a sort of prearranged how much that would be for that roll back, so I'm just going to go with kind of my standard, which is 2.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, to see how your communication goes. Go ahead and roll
okay.
for Pet Rock.
I got 13.
Okay. I got a 9. So you were successful. What are you asking the Pet Rock?
What do you think we should do here, pet rock?
All right. The rock says, I would try to get past them trees one way or the other.
Okay. Then can I
They're
try to
real
feed the rock
jerks.
the leftover hot dog as a reward?
All right, the stone split. I'm gonna go ahead and let your other roll count for that. This is a dual
Okay,
action,
yeah.
but we'll go for it. The rock swallows up and is like, whatever.
Good. Okay, yeah.
In a
Sounds
very
right.
emo way, the rock says, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
He says, I've gone from liking rock music to emo music now for some reason. I don't
Mhm.
understand why. All right, let's go to Sylvie.
So I try to quietly turn my axe belt a little bit to the back so it's not visible to the end, and I want to sidle over to the dog and and just ask, what like using my friendly hiker ability, um let it sniff my hand when you're around dangerous unknown animal, and hey, well, what is this place?
Okay. And go ahead and roll. What skill are you using here?
The We're gonna go friendly hiker.
Friendly hiker. Oh, yes, that's right. Go ahead and roll for hiker. This is a pretty friendly dog. He's just rolling at 2 dice.
13.
Okay. And so you succeed, and the dog says, like, oh, yeah, no big deal. I'm pulling for you guys, actually. This place is this place is where they have punishment for those that were maybe filled with wrath throughout their lives and caused a lot of violence. That's usually where people are here. You guys aren't that way, though, because you're here unjustly. I would keep that in mind. Unjust. That's not fair that you're here. I really feel for you. All right. Everyone is going to roll now to resist. You can roll for the same or for a different skill to resist being hit by flaming apples. Here they come. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Go ahead and roll. Tell me what you get.
Got a 10.
I got a 12 and rolling to deflect with. Oh no. Hold on. I need to rethink that.
Oh, if you want to pull out the axe and risk offending the ant.
Yeah.
Which you've already done.
Yeah, but they were asleep. They were asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, do you want to use that skill again or a different one?
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna stick with the lumberjack point, but my skill of dodging falling limbs when
Okay.
people are topping trees.
Sounds good. So that
And
roll
that
still
was,
stands because it's
yeah, that was a
lumberjack.
12. Yeah.
Okay. And let's see. Lily, what's your roll? You can. I assume you're doing breakdancing again, unless you do something else.
I am, and I still only have 2 dice, right?
Let's see. No, you that reset from when you were salt.
Oh, thank God. Okay. 12.
Okay, everybody succeeds again. You were looking to get more than 9. So let's see. Everyone succeeds. And you dodge that. So now we're back to the order of turn. Lily, what are you going to do?
I would know that treants are friendly, right? Because I've definitely read Lord of the
Yes, you've
Rings at
definitely
this
read Lord of
point.
the Rings, right?
Okay, yeah, totally. Um, is there any way that I could communicate with this treant to like basically say, hey, you've got like, these huge ass branches, um, and you're right next to these trees that are being offensive to us. Can you just like, I don't know, like knock them out, like jog their memory?
For sure.
Um,
Go ahead and roll to. There are phrases and an alphabet in the book. So roll to use your super librarian skills, it sounds like, to. I didn't mean to tell you which attribute to use. I guess I'm assuming. If you roll for that, then you can see if you can say the phrase correctly.
12?
And you succeeded. And
Hooray!
so the ent is like, no problem, and smashes the apple trees just to bits right there, maybe even more aggressively than you were asking. As he smashes these trees down, the dog goes like, thumbs up. This is fine. You guys are awesome. Hey, look, I got something for you. He's wearing a little bowler hat, if I remember the gif correctly. And he pulls that off and pulls out a golden pea out of the hat and says, here you go. And
Oh, he's holding out on
as he
us.
does that, the ent says, that's not so special. He gives me golden pea every day. Now, you notice there is a little path right past the ent. As you thank your new friend and walk down the path, you turn around, and all of a sudden it gets very, very cold. The wind is blowing. There's ice and snow and stuff kind of slightly in the air, not exactly a big storm. You walk onto a huge frozen lake that you notice. There is as you walk on, there's a set of ice skates for each of you that you strap on and you skate onto the ice. We're going to assume that you can do that just fine. No skill needed for that one.
This is
As
where we're
you
role playing.
Yes, exactly. This would be for me too. As you skate forward onto the ice, you see a couple of very interesting things. What you see is you see a little shack kind of thing off to the side with a bench and a whole bunch of bags. There's hockey pucks, hockey sticks, a lot of hockey gear that's there. To the left, you see a large throne. There's a huge demon-looking creature in the throne. He's got big old goat horns and nasty-looking demon face and teeth, but he is frozen in ice. He's not moving. In his hand, there's frozen a mug that says "World's Best Boss." And next to him, there is a large desk that has a huge coffee maker and your regular desk stuff, laptop, little thing of Lysol wipes, and one of those little things that you use to spray dust out of the keyboard of a computer. That you would, and also one of those little squeezy toys that the little with the little face, for stress balls. You notice that there's a group coming towards you. They're led by they're led by a man in a business suit and a bunch of demons. As the demons get closer, you notice that each of them seems to be a demon version of a cast member from The Office. You've got Demon Jim, Demon Dwight, Demon Pam, Demon everybody. But the guy in the suit does not match that show, and he yells out at you and he says, "What are you doing here? I'm the boss around here. I did a hostile takeover as soon as I arrived. My name is Carl Gordon Jenkins. Gordon Jenkins. If you know, you know, little reference for anybody out there. And I was doomed to come here because I died working on a big project for my company. They didn't get it done, so I had to come here. But I did a hostile takeover. And now you can't, you're interrupting our hockey practice for our team hockey. I'm sorry, we're challenging you. Get over there and get your hockey gear, and we're going to play." You notice 2 goal posts as well. The rule, by the way, there's only one rule other than normal hockey, is that you have to take 2 sticks. So go ahead and take double hockey sticks, and you move on to the ice. And now you can choose what are we going to do? Lily, you're first.
Can I knock him out behind the knees with my sticks?
You can
I
certainly
don't like his
try.
tude.
Yes.
Um,
What skill are you gonna use for that?
I'm gonna use my windmill breakdancing skills. Should have been a
Okay, go ahead and roll for that. Now, Gordon Jenkins rolls at a 5, so he's a big boss.
Oh, I handily knock him over. I hit a 12.
You got a. Wait, did I say what I had?
You said 5.
No, he rolls 5 dice. He actually
Oh,
got a. So he actually rolled
crap.
he rolled a 19. So you boogie past him just fine. You swing one of your hockey sticks, but to your surprise, for a middle-aged businessman as he is, he does a big like
He's pretty
flip,
limber.
like Michel Kwan or something on his ice skates, and misses just as he does that.
Could I possibly roll something to make it seem like I accidentally did that?
Yeah, sure. Do you have one of your attributes would lend itself to deception
Um, Librarian, I would think,
or
because
creativity? I guess. Yeah.
I have to kind of BS my way through some things with some people. Like, oh yes, we certainly, sir, have that book.
Okay, this is a new wrinkle to a librarian. I didn't know that they did that. All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
I got a 16.
And unfortunately, yes, he got a 15, so he doesn't believe you at all. He says, "Nice try. Don't kid a kidder. You're lying to me like some kind of a librarian." And as he does
Yeah.
that, Demon Jim turns and looks off to the side, like half shrugging, as if he's looking at a camera or something. All right. Let's see, Farius, you're up.
Yeah. So I take the pet rock and try to usher him on to say like, okay, you play offense. I don't know if that requires a roll or if that's gonna be pretty easy for him to do just as a rock.
Let's see.
But,
Are you gonna tell him to do that, or are you gonna toss him over there, or how
I'm
are
gonna
you?
I'm gonna tell him to do that. I'll use my pet rock befriending skill to
Okay.
try
Okay.
to
So
get
you're
him
gonna see
to
if you can
thoroughly on our side.
advise / inspire him to do
Yeah.
so. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll for that. I guess. I'm gonna roll in a 2. Guess what though? You did feed him a boring, subdued hot dog, so I'm gonna take away one of your dice on that. So go ahead and roll one
Sounds
less,
right. Okay, yeah.
because he's kind of like
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
But
I
will
got
only
a
roll
better
2.
roll with that. I got
Okay.
a 11.
Okay, and he's at he rolled a 9, so he's like, all right. So he dives down the middle, and as he slides down the ice, he goes in between the players. He hits the puck, goes right into their goal, and a couple things happen right when it goes into the goal. You notice over on a large scoreboard, you get 1 point. Boom. Not surprising. What is surprising is the other team gets 2 points. Boom, boom. Also, you notice that when the light flashes on their goal for making a goal, that Gordon Jenkins gets a little dizzy and kind of goes into a little bit of a trance, and he shakes it off. So you intuit from that, of course, that this game is clearly rigged in favor of the other team.
Yeah.
All right, Sylvie, what are you going to do? Oh, let me say one other thing, by the way. Sorry. As the light went off, the other thing that it did is it illuminated under the ice, underneath that goal. Underneath the ice, you notice that there are shadowy figures like people that are frozen in the ice. But one thing you also notice is a large door with with letters on the top that say XIT. It looks like your standard exit sign, but it's missing an E. But it's frozen under the ice, right under the goal.
Um, um, so is the puck back in play or?
Yeah, the puck. Yeah, there you go. In a flash of fire, it appears in the middle of the thing again. But you also notice for the tip off, the other team doesn't wait; they just start going after it.
Okay. I'm going to try to get to the puck and um and I'm gonna try to push it like I'm not trying to make a shot because I don't want to get them more points, so I'm trying to kind of go out to the side with it, see if I can actually get it out of bounds.
Okay. What skill you or attribute you using for that?
I'm gonna use my lumberjack skill to kind of
Oh, you're probably pretty good at
chop at it
swinging.
like and
There you go.
swing at it like
Yep.
yeah.
Go for it. So you're rolling against, I'm taking 3 dice. Because that is the set amount I had for the puck related rolls.
14.
Oof, I only got 8. So you succeeded. The puck goes flying, and as a matter of fact, it goes flying not so it's so far out of bounds that it ricochets off the desk and hits the boss in the face, the frozen boss in the throne, cracking the ice around his face, freeing up the face and head area. The boss goes like, "Ugh! Oh my word. Ah, Jenkins, Gordon Jenkins, what are you doing? You froze me in this chair to take over. You. Yeah. He turns to you guys and says, "Y'all should help me get out of this. Why don't you help me? Come on. You guys can help me. We'll be friends, right? Yeah, come on. Yeah, I'm a friendly guy. You can tell. Look at me." All right. Let me go back around to Lily.
What's the I'm not still salt, am I? Or I'm just
No,
reformed salt.
you're human again.
Okay. I'm just salty. So what do the penalty boxes look like at this hockey rink?
Oh, good question. Good question. Let's see. The penalty box it looks like a normal penalty box, but it has a raging bonfire inside of it.
All right, I don't want to go into the penalty box. Hmm. Where's the puck now?
The puck is out of bounds and it looks like Demon, the Gordon Jenkins has asked one of his team to go get another puck from the bag, and it is Demon Stanley, and he's just taking his time, like, whatever, I don't really care about this.
I am going to go up to can I get to the puck that's out of bounds?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
what do
gonna
you
go
want to do
grab
with
it
it?
and I'm gonna fling it back at the icy guy.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that.
Like
What
try
are
to
you
crack some more ice.
All right. What are you gonna what attribute is gonna help you with that?
I think it has to be my breakdancing. I have very strong arms from my head spinning days.
All right. Go ahead and
Uh,
what move would you do? Like how are you gonna propel it even more? What kind of snap or move would you use?
I'm do a spin
Okay.
On the ice. I'm gonna look kind of figure skaterish for a second. And I'm
All right.
gonna do it okay because
All right.
I'm rolling an 8. So
Go for that. I would roll I'm gonna take a dice away from myself because that's pretty fun. So that'll reduce from 4 to 3 for me. And I have what do you have, by the way? I have 8, 9, 10, 11.
8.
You got 8? So
I got 8.
okay. So you do
I'm not used to
however,
being on skates, dude.
yeah, however you do miss, and when you throw it, what happens is it does miss the boss. But it does whack Stanley in the back of the head, in which he just goes like, I don't care. But it rolls back over.
Oh, come on. I didn't miss that bad, did I? It ricocheted.
He slipped on the ice. He slipped on the ice. Yes, there you go. All right.
Fair enough. All right.
Farius, what are you going to do?
Okay. I'm gonna probably try to do the same thing that she just tried, except
Okay.
contortionist literally. So I'll try to do a windmill type move, legs are kicking in the air, and then and then
Okay.
hit the puck with that.
Go ahead and roll for contortionist.
Oh which I think was that. Okay, I got 17.
Okay, I got a 10. So you hit the demon boss right in the middle of the chest. The ice starts to crack and break. He stands up. He stretches. Huge bat wings unfold behind him, and he says, "Ah ha ha ha! Evil laugh." He says the words "evil laugh."
Yeah, I
He's
figured.
been out of the game for a minute. He picks up 2 hockey sticks and he starts whacking the office team around like pucks, and he picks up Gordon Jenkins and drops him right into the fiery penalty box. He turns on you and he says, "Guess what? Y'all shouldn't be here. I'll tell you what, I run a tight ship up in this place, and I may be really, really cruel and mean and pure evil, but I am not an unfair boss. I am nothing if not fair." As he grabs his frozen coffee mug, the heat from his hands boils the coffee, dumps it right on the goal, melts the ice. And as he does so, from the coffee also, a golden E comes falling down, touches the exit sign, door opens, and you're able to proceed out. As you walk out back into the neighborhood. You have solved the HE double puzzle. You have gotten back out into the light, and this neighborhood no longer seems so typical. It's bright, it's happy. People are out there playing in their yards and doing all kinds of nice Saturday activities with all of the joy that a neighborhood should have. As you're out and you're kind of coming out of the whole deal, all of a sudden you notice a large winged character coming from the sky, coming with beautiful wings. You see this beautiful creature coming down to the earth, and what do you see but a beautiful, wonderful angel that appears in front of you. Why don't we pick someone? Let's see, any one of you roll 1 6-sided dice and tell me what number you get. Who wants to do it?
I got a 1.
Okay, you got a 1. There are 6 possible angels that could be visiting you. The one that you did roll is okay. Good. You notice that as the wings go down and this silhouette, you can make a clear visual that is actually the angel / ghost from the Polar Express, the homeless man. And as he arrives, he's like, "Hey!" He has a bean can full of coffee that he's drinking and a bindle over his shoulder. He whips the bindle around, opens it up, and he pulls out your invitations that were the hope that was abandoned as you went into the party. He also pulls out a hole puncher, and he punches on the word hope to change each of the words to give you a personalized message as he gives you back your invitations. So he's changing the word hope. Why don't each of you roll 1 dice and tell me what number you get?
6.
3.
5.
6. 6, and 3. Could I get one of you sixers to roll again?
No, I think it was 6, 3, and 5.
Oh, 6, 3, and 5. Perfect. Okay, who got the
I rolled another 6.
6, 3, and 5? Okay,
Do you want me
good.
to roll again?
No. Did you get the 6?
I got the 6.
Okay, we'll go in order. Okay, so he punches out holes in your ticket. Oh, I'm sorry, ticket, invitation. Where did I get that from? Okay, so he punches out holes, and you get the P and the E are left. And he says, "Your future, you will excel greatly as a physical education teacher, should you so choose. That is a brilliant, bright future that you will have. You'll be the world's most successful, wealthy PE teacher, whether you choose to work in education or as a fitness coach on Instagram." Then he turns to, let's see, who got the 5?
Silva.
Okay, Silva. He punches your ticket, and what you notice is that the E and the O are the only letters remaining, but they've switched around so that it's EO, as in EO. And he says, "You will find I'll tell you what, Captain EO, overdue for a remake, and let's be honest, problematic. Am I right? So we need to revisit that. You're going to write, direct, and star in the new Captain EO, and it will be the most successful. You're going to EGOT with this thing somehow. It will go across all mediums, and you're going to EGOT with this. So that's your reward. And let's see, that leaves us with Farius. You got a 3.
Yes.
Okay, he punches, 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 and the 3 letters remaining on yours rearranged are P, O, and E, as in Poe. And he says, your reward is you are going to become the world's greatest Edgar Allan Poe imitator. And you will travel around this great land teaching people all about Edgar Allan Poe, creeping them out every Halloween, and also giving them like mysteriously dry and boring and strange poetry that seems like a word salad.
Yeah.
Everywhere that you go. So you have all been given these rewards for
Wow.
escaping from the HE double hockey stick challenge that you have gone through. So give yourselves a hand. Good job, guys.
Wow. You really did it.
Yay.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, everybody, for doing this and being here. That's going to do it for
Yeah,
the
thank you.
episode for today. Well, one quick reminder, this is going to come out before then. Anybody who is listening, stay tuned for more stuff. I'm going to have some more stuff about RPGs and how we can maybe use those. I hope everybody had a good time listening as we did playing. Also, August the 29th, which is the last Thursday in August, is going to be the Broken Brains 3rd annual live stream for overdose awareness. You can go to dwighthurst.com/live to learn more about that. Everybody is welcome to watch and join. There will be a link the day of at that very address that I just gave that will allow you to join the live stream and be able to be on it as well. London, you've been on quite a bit the last 2 years when we did it as well. It was
Yeah.
it was nice to have you on there
Yeah, it's fun.
as well. So hopefully you'll reappear, and everybody is invited to do so as well on that. It is for the International Opioid Overdose Awareness Day. So that will be that. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. It was
Thank
fun.
you.
Thanks so much.